Go ahead. It didn't do it this time. It's recording.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Joanna. So we'll go around, we'll just introduce ourselves and just jump on because I don't know who to tell who goes where. So I'm Giovanni D'Amato. I'm the chair of the Veterans Affair Committee. And I'm an assistant principal of the Williamsburg High School for Architecture and Design, which is on North 6th and Roebling. And I live in the neighborhood. I grew up here also. All right. Anyone else?
Well, I'll go jump in real quick. I'm Phil Caponegro, Community Board and Veterans Affairs Committee member.
I'm Mike Hoffman. Can you hear me?
Yes, Michael.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a Vietnam veteran, Navy veteran, and it's my second meeting. Glad to be here.
Good, Michael.
I guess I'll jump in. It's Evelyn and Erica Matichak, community residents, lifelong fourth generation and third and fourth generation. And we this is our second meeting and we're happy to see everybody. Thank you.
More people too.
Hey guys, can you hear me? Mic check.
Yep.
Vinny.
Okay, Vinny Piccolo, New York City Parks. I'm the park manager for Community Board 1.
And I'll just jump on after him. Mary Salak Hussein, the North Brooklyn Parks Director.
Hey everyone, this is Anya Hoyer from Partnerships for Parks. Just trying to get my camera working, but nice to meet all of you.
Good evening, all. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Andre Shariga. I'm here from the Department of Veteran Services. Actually, right down the hall from you guys. But just joining into, just kind of make connections here. So I'll let you guys do your normal flow, and then whenever you can plug me in to say my few words, I'll do that.
Great. Welcome.
Hi, Giovanni, you want me to introduce myself?
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I know some of you. My name is Heather Butt. I'm an assistant professor at Columbia University at the School of Public Health. And I do a lot of research around, among other things, history of medicine and Civil War history. But for these purposes, I run a nonprofit called Health for Youth that works a lot in Brooklyn and Staten Island to do cleanup projects and park projects. So I've worked with partnerships and parks before. So it's nice to see you again, some of you.
Should I introduce myself?
Mm-hmm.
I'm Laura Hoffman. I'm Mike Hoffman's wife, wife of a Navy veteran, and also very active in environmental, waterfront, and parks issues in the neighborhood.
And then Jody, I think.
Yeah, that's just me left. Jody Love from Friends of McGolrick, and we heard about this through Mary. And we're just interested in hearing about any opportunities to support any veterans events coming up in McGolrick.
Okay, cool. Very good. So if I haven't left anyone off, my screen is acting all crazy. Welcome everyone, and thank you guys for coming tonight. We're gonna just start off with a little presentation from Andre from Veterans Veteran Services. That way we could just start the conversation. And because at the last meeting we started talking about possibly doing some cleanups of the memorials, which is why the parks is here in full force, which is great, and why I called in Heather, who always seems to rile up some kids to like get out there and do some cleanups. So we'll start off with the official aspects of this committee, which is finding out about the services that are available to the vets. So, Andre, whenever you want to start, it's all yours.
Not a problem. Thank you. Good evening, all. Thank you for having me. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to pull up my small. I'm not going to go through the whole presentation as far as the slide deck we use. This one that I have is the most current one we have, which is a lot more detailed. And for me and this meeting, this initial meeting on with you guys is more so just a communication of thing, in the sense of COVID has definitely changed a lot of things over the last couple of years in how things operate within city government itself. And especially with our agency. And one of the things that we realized that happened in that space of time is that we lost connectivity with a lot of entities that we would normally associate with, especially on the veterans on the veterans front. So part of this process of being a part of this meeting is something that we've done. We're myself and Nicole Jordan Jones is my supervisor. We're both doing at different times with pretty much all the community boards. We've connected with all the community boards so far. We've connected with reconnected with all of the borough presidents so far. Now we're moving on to connect with the city council members, and we're gonna try to go to state from there. And all of that is really just to make this fight a little more collective. The veteran community is a particular community, and it's not well supported in different ways. As I've been here, 6 of the 7 years this agency has been in operation, and sad to say, even at this point in time, we are still not even known to some people within the 5 boroughs. So that's sad in itself to know, and as well as that, if they do know about us, they usually get the name of our agency wrong, as our agency was initially a part of the mayor's office, so it was called Department of Veterans Affairs at the mayor's office. But since it has been separated and become an official city agency, it's NYC Department of Veterans Services. So in the 6 years of me being here out of the 7, it's still a little bit of mind-boggling that is still an issue for us, where we're still not identifiable as an actual city agency that's predicated to providing services for veterans. So again, like I said, part of this conversation is really to connect, just to connect with our entities that are on this front with us, to support our veterans. And the better we can do that, is just being part of these meetings and connecting with those other entities, supporting each other along the way. By whatever means that is, that I see, and I see that as well as my agency itself, whereas that we can do more if we're connected to others, rather than trying to save the world on our own or the veteran community on our own. We're still very limited in some of the things we can do. So the more people we connect with, the better we can, go out there and make changes. Just so I'll do a couple of rundowns of little things that we do here. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can share my screen. Where is this? Here we go. Let me know if everyone is able to see.
Yes.
Yes. And I could probably send this to you guys too if you wanted to, but this is our slide deck that just talks about our agency, and I'm just gonna touch on a couple certain points of it really. More so, I'm gonna start here with the outreach and engagement, which is myself and Nicole Jordan Jones. Unfortunately, it's just the 2 of us, right? So even with our outreach portion of it, we're limited, in the things that we can do. So attending meetings like this that are virtual are very simple. So of course we try to be on those, but when it comes down to any field work, where we're actually asked to be at a different events and stuff, a little hard to do, but we try to manage it as best we can. So that's definitely one of the angles that are very very strategic for us moving forward. And now one thing I'll mention as well is something I'm working on is I'm trying to do an event in front of the building of 1 Center Street. And there's a big like courtyard area right in the front. I don't know if most of you guys have been to the building, but that big space. Since I've been here in the 6 years, we've never had an event even in front of our building. And when I say event, more so a tabling event, or more so on a resource style situation, where I want to have other possible city agencies and every other veteran entities that would like to table, would like to be there to provide information on resources for the veterans. It's one of the things I'm trying to do right in front of this building to start off this new year. I'm most likely going to try to get that set up in April. And we'll definitely try to keep all the community boards posted. Whoever wants to be a part of it, whoever has any recommendations, if you can just, people in your communities that want to come out as far as veterans to get this informational stuff, please, let them know. But I'll definitely make sure that's out. Another area I want to touch on is our in-house supporting staff that actually does the hardcore work, which is the benefits and the housing team. We have a full-fledged claims unit that actually works on veterans claims. That process in itself, on its own, without us or any type of veteran organization that knows that informational stuff, is very hard for a veteran to do on their own. You know, there's a lot of red tape and a lot of different informational things that are needed to create that claim and have it submitted to the VA. So what we've done is we've gotten training from the Department of State in regards to what's going on in regards to claims and how to prepare and package a claim for the VA to review. So we've got that training, and we've actually been doing that for the last about to say 2 years now, 4 years. We started in the midst of COVID in around March. So almost 2 years that we've probably been doing that now. So, you know, that's one of the in-house things that we do that are very key. The veterans benefits, that provides funding for veterans every month as long as they get approved. And that's the goal, but they get approved every month, and that's financial support they can have as they move forward through their lives, and that can help them as well as their families, you know. So that's something that we do in-house, and we make sure we speak on that out loud. The other area is our housing team. The housing team has been around since day one of even before I got to this agency. So that's been one of our strongest attributes here at DVS. And those housing situations vary. I don't know all the exact full details of different situations, but I know it varies depending on what that person's situation. So those are the two main things we do in-house, that we have two full-fledged teams that actually work on those two things in-house. A lot of the other things we do, unfortunately, at this point are more of referrals, where we refer veterans to that exact source. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about the source. We only give the veterans that information to that entity, that source, whatever it is that they're trying to do, whether it be entrepreneurship, home ownership, housing, education, you know, a different array of things that we can actually support on, that we can give direction on who to connect with, what entities will help them with those things. You know, so right now we're more so a referral source, but we're trying to change that avenue by being able to have more resources. We're still working on some initiatives for this new year, working through some, you know, this overall city budget constraints and stuff. So there's a lot of different things that we had to change in-house, but we're trying to start simple. We're not trying to recreate the wheel all for so, but we're just trying to keep it simple and starting with this small task of connecting to all our community boards and connecting to the partners around us to make some of this easier, as we do not have full capacity and full availability to do more as an agency. You know, so the more that we connect with, the better we can, you know, action and get things done for these veterans. I'll stop there in case anybody has any questions, anything about that.
Andre, what's the best way if someone from the community wants to reach out to the office?
I'll put that in the chat. Yeah, I'll put that in the chat, all the connected information. But they can always go to this information right here at the bottom, which I'll put in the chat as well. They can call our number or nyc.gov/vets. That'll connect them right to the agency itself. But also, because we're connecting with community boards, not to say that I would say flood us with all your veteran issues, but if you have specific things that you guys may struggle with that whatever issue, feel free to reach out to myself, especially on the Cole Jordan Jones, where you bring us that information, and then we can help you sift through how to get it, you know, how to get it resolved as best we can. You know, so depending on the situation, if it's more like day-to-day stuff where somebody's trying to do their claims, they want to submit a claim, something like that, I would say just go through the connected things of calling our office number or the nyc.gov/vets online. They can always reach us and get connected to us. If it's just you know, overall, if it's not an emergency, you know, we'll still want people to go through the certain channels, you know, of the normal processes, because we keep a tracking record of everything that comes to us as far as veterans. We try to keep a database on everybody that comes to us. So we do want a certain flow. But if there's certain situations where, you know, there's a rare case, some type of emergency, I would say just contact us direct, you know, more so, especially like myself or Nicole Jordan Jones. Matter of fact, let me put that in the chat for you guys too. So.
The chat is not open. If you want to send your information, you can send it over to the community board and we'll share it.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, let me see.
As well as your presentation, if you could send it over, that would be great.
Not a problem. We'll do. Will do.
Any questions from anyone in the crowd? We had to have a good turnout. This is our second meeting, ladies and gentlemen, and we have a very good turnout. So thank you guys for coming. And Andre, thank you. And you'll be hearing a lot from me. This is, like I said, the second meeting. I'm still trying to navigate. We haven't, the board didn't have a functioning veteran. They had a committee, but they weren't meeting. So this is the second meeting after a couple of years. So I'm still trying to learn the ropes of running the committee. But
No, understand. Like I said, we
we'll
all,
get
I think over the last few years, everybody had to readjust, to different things in their own avenues. So I definitely understand.
Yeah.
Hi,
All right. Any
Andre?
other questions?
Yes.
Yes, Evelyn has a question.
Oh, hi, Andre. I just have something to say. Back in 2017, I had gone to it was the old U.S. Navy Medical Hospital in St. Albans, and now
Okay.
it's the Veterans Administration Long-Term Extended Care Facility. And there was a friend of ours that was in hospice care there. And it was great to see that the building was saved, and great to see that 2 floors were reconstructed, and it's for the vets who are in hospice care. So hats off, and I'd like to see more of the floors. Maybe since then they have been, updated. But it's great to see that facility still there for the vets.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for that.
I have a question. I just want to know, I know you said that that there's a very scant crew in your office. Did I
Yeah.
understand that correct? What can we do to encourage the mayor's office to pay more attention to your crew?
Sometimes I'm not the person to ask that, because sometimes I'm just too blunt and say like, "Hey, Mayor, we need some help over here." Like, I'm straightforward with it. Like, we definitely need it. I would say, on a real standpoint of everything being professional and trying to be politically correct about it, it would just be speaking up, just to say that it's needed. I can honestly say, since I've been here, like I said, I've been here 6 of the 7 years, and sadly, what I've seen is that, especially after COVID hit, our numbers dropped drastically. We were prior to COVID, I think we were leading up to about 50, crossing over to get to 55 and 60 staff members in total. We were leading to go in that direction, but when COVID hit, it went a different direction, and we're actually down to like 20 something, maybe I think the most 30 now, or 32, I think, because we had a couple new staff that were able to be brought on, but because of actual city constraints and money wise, we're limited to who we can even leaving the option of putting a posting up to hire someone. That alone is tough in itself. Me personally, I look at it and say, is DVS is already a small agency, so why do we have to be limited to the amount of people we can hire? We're one of the smallest agencies out there, out in city government right now, within the 5 boroughs. So it's like, why do we need to have constraints on our agency when we're already super limited with staff, where staff is literally everybody's probably doing an extra job, or extra 3 jobs, or extra 4 jobs? So honestly, that question, I would just say, is just saying it, just getting that message. If the message, you can get the message to him and his team, I would say just get the message to them. However, by whatever means, sometimes taking a harsh approach may be good. Sometimes taking a soft approach may be good, but just getting the word out that we need the ability to be able to bring on more so we can do more, I think is just a needed thing to say in general.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Andre, thank you so much. And you'll be hearing from me. Yeah, if you could get your email over to Joanna at the community board.
Yeah, I'm gonna
office.
email the BK1
Yeah.
Community board email right now.
And I'll reach out to you in the next couple of days to sort of talk about ways we could coordinate.
No problem.
All right.
I'll be here.
Cool.
Yep.
Very good. Thank you, Andre.
Not a problem.
So, that's something that I do want to work on, is really getting the word out that the services that are available. and really echoing that, where we have departments that are so important that are not staffed properly. All of us that work in the city, we know what's going on these days, where we're running on a tighter staff. We if people retire, they're not getting replaced. So we really want to let people know that for the job to get done, we need manpower. And talking about the manpower, we have the whole. Mary. I emailed Mary, and she showed up with like full force today, with Carmine and Vinny. So whoever wants to take over, you guys could take over. But the reason why they're here is at the last meeting, we discussed some of the memorials and markers to commemorate the soldiers who were lost, the soldiers who fought in the wars that are located in the neighborhood. So Mary put together a sheet, a grid for me, and what the goal is, and why I have Heather here, and which is cool that some of the other local groups from the neighborhood logged on, is if we could begin having a conversation over a larger period of time of coordinating some cleanups for some of these memorials and monuments that are in the area. So I don't know if Mary, either you or someone from your team over there wants to just say a couple words, and then we'll proceed.
Yeah, I can start. I also don't want to forget about Anya, who will also be working with us in
Okay,
District
cool.
1.
Hello,
She works for-
Anya. I'm sorry. I'm losing all the squares.
So she's with Partnership. So Giovanni, thank you. I think it's a great idea. And I just want to say, while we can't work on the monuments themselves, we do have a crew that works on them. I provided you, Giovanni, and I think you put it in the meeting notice. When those monuments get cleaned, it's done yearly by our monuments crew, who are very talented, but it's like very specific how they work to clean each monument. But we can schedule with you, and we'll work with Partnerships for Parks. Heather has worked with us in the past, and it's really nice to see your face again and to work with you again. We can schedule a cleanup in any of our parks where we have these monuments at any point in time. You just say the word. We need a little bit of notice, especially in the peak time. So like April, May, June through October, I would say. But we can provide all of the tools for cleanups. And then if there's plantings or other things like that, we can also work on that with you guys. I spoke to some of the friends in McGolrick who are here because Giovanni, when I spoke to you, you mentioned that there was a monument in McGolrick, the Argonne Monument, which is that one in the middle of the plaza area. That is, I think you said its 100th anniversary is coming up.
Yeah, someone on this meeting mentioned that last time, that it's turning 100 this year. So we should do something.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Mhm.
And so I think we should do something special for that, being that it's 100 years old, and it's in McGolrick, so it's taken care of because it's in McGolrick. If you're in McGolrick or McCarran, you got a good location. Some of the other ones need a little bit more of the TLC, and I think if with the bulbs, when the time comes, with the wood chipping, I think we have a nice project for the next couple of years to get everything going. But yeah, sorry to cut you off, Mary.
That's fine. I also have my daughter screaming in the background, so but yeah, we can plant around the Argonne Monument. It's something that we've been talking about. And I think Jody, I think that's something that you guys were also thinking about. But yeah, we'll work with you to figure out a schedule, and we can pick it up at any point in time, and we'll work with Vinny and his team to get all the tools to the site. If there's anything that you have a question about, reach out to me or Vinny. I actually won't be around this summer too much, but Vinny will be your point person. So, he can be your go-to. And then of course, Carmine and Anya.
Mary, it's Eric. I just want to ask a question regarding the monument in McGolrick. I could be incorrect, but I'll take a walk over there perhaps, next few days. But the last time we were there, around the statue, the gate, right? It was
Broken,
the
open,
the
left
great the
open.
gate was broken. It was open. Uh,
was
s-
like abandoned.
I might be incorrect. Maybe it was repaired since the last time we saw us. So, can I get back to you on that? I'll meander over there and check it out.
And it read,
Or Vinny and I can take a look. Vinny, does it
Yeah.
sound, does that,
It
do you
was a little
remember putting a work order
surprising
in?
to
Was it
see
broken or was it just like unlocked?
both gates to the Monitor and the Merrimack was left open when we were there, and to the Angel Monument. And really, at the monument there, it really needs a lot of TLC. It looked abandoned, it looked terrible. It really did.
But we just want to correct ourselves. Maybe, hopefully, it's not like that now. It just happened to be when we saw it. So that would really be great. But we'll be in touch.
And-
Okay, thank
Oh,
you.
hold on.
And there's one other thing. I don't know if anybody is familiar, but there is a in the plaza area. I don't know since when the pathways were fixed, if the plaza area was fixed or repaved or was it anything done over? No? Okay, so maybe that's a good thing. In the area of the plaza, there is a boulder, a big rock, as I was saying. I hope they didn't remove it. And there was a bronze plaque dedicated on Armistice Day for a tree there back in November 11th. It was for the people who lost, the soldiers who lost their lives in Greenpoint, like that. I think it was about 1918. The bronze plaque is stolen years and years ago, but the boulder is still there, and you could see where it was, where the bolts were into the boulder. So my concern is, this is only a suggestion. If that boulder can be relocated, it was behind the park benches in the cobblestone area. And could it be put into where the Argonne monument is for safekeeping maybe, and kind of cemented into the ground?
And a new plaque.
And a new plaque to be put back. I have, it's a very faint photo of it. And it was, can you see that? It's just so bad.
She has a photo of what it actually, this tree was planted for Armistice for 1919, Greenpoint for it's a dedicated plaque, but it might have been stolen. So we'll have to check that out.
So maybe that could add it to the list of monuments, and also, that it was in McGolrick Park and can it be replaced? And if
If you could send me that photo, we'll take a look and we'll look in our archives to see if
I
we
was
have a
just
record
gonna
of
ask
it.
if you could look in the archives, find that.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
And there's one more thing on
Oh.
McGolrick Park. It's the 10th anniversary, really, of when the Monitor and the Merrimack Monument was vandalized with paint. Somebody threw paint all
There was
over
a
the
bucket of paint,
monument.
yeah.
And I have to say, the Parks Department came the next day. It was cold weather, but I stayed there and watched the whole process. How the Antiquities group from the Parks Department came. And what a fabulous, fabulous job that they did. Took them hours. There was 3 of them, but they really brought that
Restored it
monument
without
back
damage.
to its pristine condition. And another suggestion is maybe, because kids still climb all over that monument, if there could be a sign there not to climb on the monument, because the city will end up getting sued if somebody gets hurt. So
Because we all used to climb on all those, everyone used to climb on those monuments, and might break, and it's very expensive.
yeah.
But thank you, Mary. We
Thank you
appreciate
very
it.
much.
Bye. Thank you, everybody.
But they did a fabulous,
Yeah.
fabulous job on that statue. Thank you.
Okay, so really now next steps would just be maybe coming up with Jody, do you have my email address?
I don't think I have your email.
Okay, maybe Mary, you could like set up what do you call that thing?
I
it's
could
the
send
end
you
of
an
the day.
email.
Yeah, like a chain. Yes, that's it.
Okay.
So maybe put us on so that maybe I'll put
Yeah.
Heather on also,
Yeah,
and
that'd
then we could put everyone on and just come up with maybe a loose calendar.
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm an assistant principal of a high school in the neighborhood, and we, we do these cleanups everywhere. We go to Staten Island, we go to Brooklyn, we have like an army of kids who just, this is what they do, right? It gets them out of the building for a couple of hours, and it's a good bonding activity. So we have the manpower, and it's good to give back to the community of where they go to school and where they live. So Carmine, you got your hand up?
How about me,
All
my
right.
friend? Giovanni, I'll let Carmine speak first, but I've been waiting to talk. I got my hand up.
You see,
go
Phil.
first. You go first, then I'll go after.
Go ahead,
Carmine, you
Phil.
go. He's doing that on purpose. That's why he doesn't want me to.
Yeah. You know why, Phil? Your hand it goes in with your background. That's why.
Wait, there. It's off.
Yeah.
Like, there it is again, pal.
There we go. All right. Go
All
ahead,
right,
Phil.
I'll let Carmine talk.
Okay,
You
Carmine,
sure?
Phil,
Okay.
whoever wants to go.
All right, you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I always forget because sometimes I feel like the audio doesn't always work on these calls if there's bad bandwidth. But anyway, thank you all for having us on tonight. I see faces like Heather and Jody who have done It's My Park with us a lot and know the process and are superstars here. I'd like to formally introduce Anya Hoyer. She's the newest member of the Brooklyn Partnerships of Parks outreach team. Some bittersweet for me, but Anya is going to be transitioning into being the outreach coordinator for Community Board 1. I'm still going to be in the borough, but I will no longer be covering District 1 regularly. With that said, I'm happy to have an extra person on the team now. Getting back to all the work that the board would like to do, like the way the process works, we have an application for our day's called It's My Park, and we would have you fill out an application. Definitely talk with Mary and Vinny about what's going to go into that application. Typically, we'll try to meet on site before the project. Myself, Anya, Mary, and Vinny, others from the district or the horticulture team, and with you as the board members to discuss what could be done, logistics, and then with Partnerships of Parks, we have some tools and supplies that we can lend out the day of the project. It's a really, really great program. We run, I consider them to be professional development workshops throughout the year on different topics. We have a team that helps groups find grants to help supplement their projects. We have staff on hand to help do help create flyers and graphics. Also, it really, really is a great program. But boots on the ground is the outreach team, and we're here to help. The Mary family on here, very nice, very nice. So I would say, think about what your capacity is. I think it's great that you're involving, the students in the school, and think about what site is going to take priority, which one might need the most cleanup right now, and maybe we'll put a meeting together there, and we'll see, what Mary and Vinny think could be done, and we'll go from there. And I would say, judging on the capacity at that first project, go forward from there. Say, hey, we got 10 people, maybe we can get 20 next time. We'll go on to the next site and have a bigger project.
All right. Thank you, Carmine. Phil, you can go now, Phil.
Thank you, Giovanni. Yeah, no, I was going to say that the way we're talking now, we're the best people out there because we run around our neighborhoods, we see what's going on, so we could see because we have monuments. I have a partial list also. There's monuments in all parts of CB1, so we should get the word out. We should get out there, keep an eye on things, come back to this committee meeting, and say if we see something, something in McCarran, something in McGoldrick needs work on, like we've already heard already. So I think that's a good thing. And on that note, I wanted to bring this up to Mary and Vince. We do a lot of outreach with Bonamacessa Square. That's on Meeker and Withers. That's a lot of young, I think it's 13 young men who died in the Vietnam War. And I think I brought this up to you guys. The flagpole there is broken. There is no American flag and no, Vietnam flag hanging from that. Could you please look into it? Vinny, yeah.
Yep. It's, I believe when we last spoke about this, we were attempting to get it added to the flagpole contract for service, Phil. So I can follow up on that.
Can I ask you just, I don't know if I can do this, but is it a money issue maybe sometimes with issues like this?
Well, in this particular case, there's a actual contract, so it has to go through the process. It's not like just somebody says, "All right, put this
Yeah,
money on it."
I get it.
Our guys were actually there doing some work this week on the. I don't know if you know. I know you're familiar with the site. I don't know if everybody else is. There's some there's some Scully and some like ground games there.
Okay.
In between the benches, and our guys have been repainting those.
Oh my God, I got to tell you something. I saw those guys doing that. And I went over to talk to the guy. I was like blown, just getting off topic with veterans and all, but I was blown away that they would do. I don't know if kids still play that. Like, Michael and you remember Scully and Hopscotch, they were doing the courts over. That was great. That was great. But take a look into that, Vincent, please. Put it on.
Absolutely.
I know it's not going to be done tomorrow, but just so it's getting done, hopefully by Memorial Day, something will be done.
What would the timeline on something like that be? Like, is it 6 months, a year? For a flagpole to be taken care of?
Sorry, I accidentally muted myself while typing.
Question, Giovanni. Go ahead.
The question, I don't know if you heard, but like, what's the timeline for a repair like that? Like, I know, I work in a school, so we have to put in a request to have like the biggest stuff fixed, and then, you end up replacing the whole side of the building before you fix the little problem. So like, how long is it that it would take, for a flagpole repair?
Okay. Yeah, it really depends on the status of that contract and if this site was included in that contract. Because if not, they got to do a whole nother deal. But I did reach out last time Phil asked about it, so I'll try and get a follow up on that and see where we're at.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, Heather, I know you got to run because you're like teaching classes and all that other stuff, but there you go.
Can you hear me?
So
Good.
we've been working with Heather, I think, how many years, Heather? Like 11, 12 years?
Yeah.
We did a cleanup of Fidelity Triangle right before COVID. We had a nice event. We had the fire trucks come and, the family who lost their son on 9/11, they came out, and it was a nice cleanup day that we had right before the craziness of COVID hit. But but we've been working with Heather forever. We go to Staten Island now to do cleanups, and that drives me crazy that the Brooklyn kids have to go to Staten Island to do cleanups. So now I was like, we got to do the cleanups here.
Carmen.
So Heather, welcome.
Yep, exactly. So interestingly enough, I live in Queens. I'm talking to you from Bayside, Queens right now, but I spend a good deal of my time in Staten Island. I'm there pretty much every weekend. And when I'm not there, I'm at the Williamsburg High School and doing stuff there. So I'm excited about this. The only thing I really wanted to bring up, and I feel like, like Carmine knows how I operate, so he's he's probably waiting for me to say something along these lines. But the one thing that I just want to make sure we have in place is you know, a schedule that we're gonna kind of like just sort of stick to. And I mean, like in Staten Island, for example, the third Sunday of every month for the last 9 years, we've done an It's My Park Day. And that's rain or shine, that's winter, that's we just did one this weekend. I think the important thing is just for us to get a schedule together, and really try to stick to it. You know, like, hopefully we'll have enough people out for the event. But I think if we get that in place, then I think we'll be in good shape. So I don't know when we were thinking about starting. Hopefully the sooner the better. But I think we should just have a consistent schedule, stick to it, and just, just always kind of know we're going to do that. So that's just my sort of like little plug for consistencies and schedules. That's it.
All right, and really, I think that's what we'll start with the email chain later on. Maybe we'll propose a couple dates, and then we'll start small. Heather knows this about the way that I function. We start off small,
Right.
we pilot things, we learn from the mistakes, and then
Yep.
we build. And it's worked for the last 17 years, so it's working. Phil, could you do me a favor? Can you send me your list? Because I just realized the list that I have doesn't have the Badame Sessa triangle.
Yes.
All right.
Like I said, I did quite a few. Do you guys like this? There's William Sheridan Playground on Berry Street. There's Sergeant Doherty Park. That's at the end of Meeker Avenue, just before you get on the highway and all like that. And there's Macri Triangle.
Yeah.
By Union and Metropolitan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a nice.
We did a couple cleanups over there and did
Yes.
some planting with Heather.
Yeah.
All right. So really, this is going to be a work in progress. There's stuff that we don't even know exists that's out there. The city needs to get a contract for that. Finally, document all of the memorials that they have.
Yes.
There's like areas that are just there, and we don't even know. Okay. Are there any concerns that anyone wants to raise? Again, this is the second meeting I'm chairing. I'm trying to get the hangs of it so we don't become, the Parks Committee. That's Phil's job. But I want to sort of balance it out, to commemorate the work of our service people by making sure the areas that are dedicated to them are, clean, and are commemorative. But any other issues? Michael, you got your hand up?
Yeah, I sent you paperwork from the Greenpoint.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd really like to look into if there was an Italian POW camp down on Commercial Street.
So I sent Jeffrey Cobb an email. He and I'm going to be chatting with him. I'm also Heather, who wrote Civil War history. But we're going to have to do some research. I have a group of kids ready to dive into the archives of certain things. But yeah, it's going to be a little. It's an interesting. So for those of you who don't know, there's an area of Greenpoint that supposedly was a POW camp during World War II. And so it would be interesting to see, some of it, I think it's true, but we're going to have to get to all the sources. But I am speaking to Jeffrey Cobb, I think, who wrote that original article.
Okay.
And, we're going to sort of backtrack the sources, sort of validate it and figure it out if it actually did happen. But I have a feeling that it is true, just because of our location to the water, to get people in and out during the war. And it wasn't unlikely that there were camps all over the country for different, there were German camps for prisoners of war. And so it wouldn't shock me that Greenpoint didn't have a POW camp. But we're going to do some research on that.
Okay.
Any other questions or concerns? So, hey, Joanna, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Can we pick the meeting for March since we're here?
You could give me a day and then I will have to just confirm it if that's okay. Because
Okay,
we have
it's
a lot of
not crazy
holidays.
like February was.
For March, I'm sorry. What was the question?
How about March? Let's see, 1 second. How about March 27th?
27. I think that is available because yes, the SLA is taking either the 28 or the 29. So March 27, I'll put you down for
Okay.
that date. I'm gonna
So let's
find out
put
there's
that in
a
there.
holiday that just in case there's a holiday, but for now it's confirmed for the 27.
Okay. So then in the meantime, before the next meeting, the goal will be to come up with a light calendar. And then, if Friends of McGolrick has anything going on, maybe we could just a small group join on just to see how they do it over there. We're not here to take over anybody's you know, happenings and doing. We're here to supplement and work with the existing groups that are in the neighborhood. So, with that. And then I'll be also working with Andre from the department to, get more, get a concise chunk of information that we could just get out to all the groups. And then my big goal is by the end of the academic year, which is June, to connect with the local vet groups. Because at the last meeting, we discussed how, the younger vets are not connecting with the older vets. And so these vet organizations are sort of, going away. So
That's a
my
great point.
goal,
That's a great point. I just
you know,
wanted
my,
to say that.
my
Sorry.
goal is to make sure that connection happens. That's why I was, when they asked to take over committees, I decided to do this one because I feel like we need to get the information out there to people who serve the country so that they, get back for the sacrifices that they made. So thank you all for being here. If you need me, you guys should have my email address. If not, call over to Joanna and she could give you guys my email address. And that's it. Any other questions or concerns?
Nope. Not at the moment.
Can I just ask a quick
Oh,
question?
yes, go
Did you
ahead.
have
Sure.
a dedication planned yet in McGolrick, or are you trying to figure that
No,
out?
not. We're trying to figure that out. So, um, really, we'll look at the. Hey, Phil, are you guys doing the event that you guys normally do on Veterans Day
We,
at the?
we usually do, well, there's two dates for
Yeah.
veterans. There's a Memorial Day, and then there's Veterans Day in November. We always do a big memorial gore on Veterans Day in November.
Okay, so Memorial Gore is Veterans Day. All right. Okay, and yeah, so Jody, to answer your question, we have nothing planned yet, but maybe um, doing something on, maybe Memorial Day, since Veterans Day will be at Memorial Gore.
Mhm.
So maybe doing something on, like Memorial Day at McGolrick Park.
It's a good idea.
Okay. Sounds great.
Okay.
And I just wanted to throw it out there. We have a website launching hopefully this week. And we did some historical research and found some really cool old photos of the park and of the statues. And we're putting all of that up. Still digging around for more photos, but it'd be great to do a call out to the community to say, do you have pictures of you in the park? Do you have pictures of this statue from different eras? Because we'd love to include that. We also have a pretty active Instagram page, and people just love seeing pictures of the park from previous eras. So if that's of interest, that would be a great collaboration effort.
No, that'll be great, actually. Yeah, I used to teach history before I became an assistant principal, and I grew up in the neighborhood. And when my family came from Italy in 1974, there's a picture of the whole family, the 8 kids and my grandparents in McGolrick Park. And it's like I've been walking by that bench all these years, right? And then I looked at the picture, I'm like, that's that bench. And that park is very important to the community. So, thank you guys for the work you guys have been doing, and any way we could help you guys in there, we'll be there for you guys. All right. So have a great night, everyone.
Night, everybody.
Very successful meeting. Thank you guys.
everybody.
Phil,
Bye-bye.
sorry about not seeing your hand.
Good night, all.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
night.
Good night.
Good night.